Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So officially, it happened. After many years of the establishment trying to get this guy for literally absolutely nothing, a New York grand jury has officially indicted former President Donald J. Trump. And this was news that was sort of talked about for the past couple of weeks. I did several videos on it. They're trying to get him for something that's already basically been talked about ad nauseum 5-6 years ago and closed up. And we know they've tried to get him for years. They tried to get him on Russia. Then this with the whole Stormy Daniels nonsense. Then on Ukraine. Then on 1-6. Then with the nuclear documents thing last year, that was supposed to be a very big thing. Where is it now? It's out of the media cycle when they found out that our current president did far more egregious things with similar documents. Then this again, and it's tiring. It's politically motivated. It's a laughable bend of the law that's not going to hold up. This would not be a case anywhere outside of New York and San Francisco, and you have a very rogue, Soros-backed DA that's going out there and is trying to indict the former president because they want him out of the way. They want his movement out of the way. They want him out of the Republican Party. They want him out of politics as a whole. And this is all that it's about. However, it is very possible that this is going to backfire. We'll talk about how nonsensical the legal structure behind this case is. We'll also talk about the impacts it will have on the 2024 Republican nomination, as well as the 2024 general election. But first, I have to tell you guys about redeaglepolitics.com. because I have a website and not all of my content is going to make it out onto the main channel. We do 1 to 2 videos per week on the website for exclusive paying members. That's $5 a month. That's a coffee. That's 16 cents a day. A lot of people were asking me what I thought about Trump potentially hiring this Jeb staffer. Did a whole video on it there. We've done videos pretty much 1 to 2 times a week for every week over the past few months or so. Also, we have access to the Discord server. You don't get access unless you are a website member, as well as several other articles that have been written for the newsletter as well. So make sure you guys sign up. The link will be in the pinned comment down below. But furthermore, they have indicted Donald Trump, finally. And this is going to backfire, in my opinion. And we're going to talk about the electoral implications of it. But I think it's important that we first cover how bogus this case is. And as Jonathan Turley for The Hill writes, this is high on ratings, but it is also very, very short on the law. And this is true. It is politically motivated. That's what we know. This was a case that was previously rejected by the federal courts, by the FEC, the Federal Election Commission. She was successfully sued by Trump for defamation for more than what this alleged payment was for, actually. And even if Donald Trump actually did something technically wrong here, it would be a misdemeanor with a statute of limitations that already expired several years ago. And in this article, it notes that there are also many other reasons why a potential hush money payment may not have been construed directly for some sort of campaign payment. And this is true. He could be doing it for public relations, for his media personality. He could also be doing it to preserve his marriage, and that is also true. And furthermore, it's important to note that former presidential candidates in the past have had similar payments to cover up proven affairs. This is not a proven affair. It's an alleged one. But John Edwards, back in the day, he cheated on his wife, who had cancer at the time, and his reputation was shot to zero. And what took place is that he had a much more egregious case regarding campaign finance with hush money. And what exactly happened, he didn't even get charged, because that's how ridiculous it is. That's how high the bar legally is to prove some sort of thing. And we do know this. And if you want to talk about campaign finance misconduct and legal consequences that will transpire as a result, look directly to the Clinton campaign. They used campaign funds to start the Steele dossier lie that was the insurance policy meant to undermine Trump's presidency with the conspiracy theory that he colluded with the Russian government in order to get elected. They were only hit with a minuscule fine, which was similar to the amount that the alleged hush payment discussed here was for. So as you guys know, there's no legal bearing for this case. It is not going to hold up even in New York City. It is very unlikely that you will see Donald Trump actually go to prison. Now, he is going to go and he will be arraigned, and he may get a mugshot. And that's something that's going to help him out a lot. It's going to be used as a massive fundraising prop. He's getting a lot of free media coverage from this that he wasn't exactly getting over the past 2 years or so. And if you're talking about free media coverage, that's how he utilized the media in order to get the nomination back in 2016. And that is exactly what he can do now, because now he's back in the media. He's getting arrested. I think he is going to surrender. I think he wants to get arrested because this is something that is going to help him. He is being politically targeted by a rogue far-left district attorney who is a part of the establishment, and in the primary, he can use it to his advantage, and he could go up there against Ron DeSantis or whoever else is in the race and say, I'm still the guy they're trying to get. I'm just in the way. They're trying to get you, and they're trying to bring me down because they're trying to stop me from getting the nomination, and they want somebody who's more squishy like the rest of my opponents in this race. And if he does that, it's going to help him out significantly. And we know that. I tweeted here, by being indicted, Trump has all but won the 2024 GOP nomination, if not even the general too. Keep in mind, Elon Musk was talking about how if he actually gets charged, it will lead to him winning the general in a landslide because it's just a massive amount of red meat to his base. And pretty much everybody who is on the left or is an independent knows that this is BS. And if anything, it's going to help him in the general as well. It's such a nonsensical charge that everybody can feel sympathy for him, and it allows him to get the free media coverage he has lacked over the past couple of years. It will backfire, and that we do know. And if Democrats are going to be making this the prime focus of their 2024 campaign, that's only going to help Donald Trump as well. You have to look at the actual numbers behind this right here. Quinnipiac poll. Do you think the Manhattan DA's case of involving former President Trump is mainly motivated by politics or mainly motivated by the law? 62% say it's motivated by politics. 32% it's motivated by law. Quinnipiac has been one of the most unfriendly pollsters to Donald Trump, mind you, over his presidency. And this includes 29% of Democrats who say that this case is motivated by politics. It's not even a real winner among Democrats. And independent voters, 70% of independent voters say that this is not motivated by the law. It's bogus. It's motivated by politics. Only 26% of those independents. So for the people that say, oh, Blumph is the convict, he's going to lose all the independents now, he can't win the nomination. Yeah, that's nonsense, because most people understand that this case is totally bogus. It's politically motivated, and it doesn't exactly make Trump look bad. In fact, it's going to make Trump look badass to his base when he's out there taking the mugshot, when he's out there getting arraigned. It's kind of something that he's going to use to his advantage in a primary. And at the very worst, it's going to be a net wash in the general election. And they're not going to put him behind bars. And technically, that would be horrendous optics for them, but that's beside the point. But we do know that even so, there are legal scholars that have come out and say that he could run for president behind bars. He could win behind bars. He could govern behind bars. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that this case is really going anywhere. Alvin Bragg is basically just a diva. He's going to do everything he can do to make himself a media personality because of this, so he can go out there and he could sell books to these resist libs. That's all that this is about. And we'll see what happens. But in terms of Ron DeSantis' response, because Trump is a resident of the state of Florida, if Trump does not necessarily decide to go and comply with the justice system up in New York, the governor would have to sign off on it, the governor being Ron DeSantis, who coincidentally is also Donald Trump's #1 obstacle to the Republican nomination. He has not announced yet, but it is very evident that he will. He has all of the mega donors who opposed Trump back in 2016 basically drafting him to run, and he released a statement saying that the weaponization of the legal system to advance a political agenda turns the rule of law on its head. It's un-American. The Soros-backed DA has consistently bent the law to downgrade felonies and to excuse criminal misconduct, which is also an interesting tidbit there, because these DAs have been so weak on crime and they're just spending their whole entire job just trying to target their political opponents. Yet now he is stretching the law to target a political opponent. Florida will not assist in the extradition request given the questionable circumstances at issue, etc., etc. So two main takeaways here. One, DeSantis is not going to hand off his political opponent to the Manhattan District Attorney, which is technically a good political move for him, because if he would hand it over, it would be an absolutely awful look. But furthermore, beyond that point, he also doesn't mention Donald Trump's name in the statement. A lot of people were angry about that, and it's pretty obvious why. It does seem as if DeSantis has been ignoring Trump. This was even before Donald Trump was attacking DeSantis back when the Mar-a-Lago raid happened. He didn't say Trump's name in his statement, and that yet again, he's ignoring Trump, and he's kind of taking little subtle jabs at him. If he really wants to contend for this nomination, he's going to have to take the high road a lot better than that. He does a better job here than his initial statement, though, so I guess he does get credit for not exactly handing Trump over to his political enemies that are trying to get him behind bars. But either way, it's a clear political move for Ron DeSantis, and I don't even know why he's in this race. And Trump is gaining because of this in the primary. He's gaining a significant amount. This is a poll that came out of Echelon Insights, and this is a recurring theme in every poll. The midterms were not a great look for Donald Trump. He got blamed for a great deal of the Republicans' losses, even though that blame was misplaced. It was still not a good political look for Trump. DeSantis, meanwhile, won re-election by nearly 20 percentage points. And while that doesn't always translate to a victory at the national level, we know John McCain won in 2004 by 50 or something, and he didn't exactly win nationwide in 2008, it still was a good look for DeSantis. And you saw Trump start to fall in a lot of these primary polls. DeSantis started to gain in a lot of those primary polls. However, it does seem as if that kind of has slowed down a great bit and a great deal as Trump has been a little bit more measured. He's been more on message. He's been talking about policy. And now Donald Trump has a 25-point lead over Ron DeSantis. So if DeSantis does decide to step in the race, he could just be shooting himself in the foot, politically speaking, in the future. He also could be shooting the party in the foot, because political divide within a party is something you don't want ahead of an election. That's arguably a more negative thing for you than any massive scandal that could drop, because you have people who are spiteful. They see this divisive primary. They don't really fall in line right away. They don't exactly get on board. This was a problem in a lot of 2022 races, a lot more of a problem than Trump was, by the way, in terms of the Republican underperformance in certain areas. You want to clear the field early. So if Donald Trump is winning the primaries by a lot more, initially, that's a very good thing. However, if DeSantis just stayed out of the race altogether and endorsed Donald Trump, it probably would be a lot better for the sake of party unity. And also maybe Trump would then consider changing his residency. They could have a unity ticket, whatever. He'd be the front runner for 2028. But it does seem as if he's going to buy in. He's going to take the bait from the GOP establishment to challenge Donald Trump, and he's going to rely on them for donations. And it's not really going to be the best look, especially if Trump keeps gaining, because this arrest right here, it's only going to help Donald Trump out in the primary, and it may help him out in the general election as well for the reasons that I stated. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.